This is a Terry tell Kate believe we are winning the league. Well, this is an interesting super chat. Oh, Jim, you are, mate. No, you're sleeping on the sofa, bruv. Dog ass. Do you know what I mean? no spooning for Jim tonight.
He's not.
I don't know. Maybe. But
where's Harry?
Where is Harry tonight? Where is Harry? He's probably in the pub, drunk, celebrating. No, I'll do it. Hang on. No, KJ just messaged me. He's in White Hart Lane having a parade or something. I don't know. He's something weird tonight.
We want the 10-game trophy.
Ange Postecoglou has come out when asked a question around winning the league. He has said, "Let the fans dream." He has said, "Let the." Do you agree with that, Dan? That you should be allowed to dream of winning this league now?
I don't understand any logic on why we're not in this title race. I've been sat here. Last stream, we had a whole conversation. I think it was thrown about that people were Arsenal fans, people were underage. Like every little statement, other than a factual statement, why we're not in the title race. I didn't get one. We have proven that right now we are the best. This season, we've been the best team in the Premier League, and that's factual. It's on the Premier League table. Whether we're gonna go all the way, that's down to squad depth, and I don't believe it unless in January we go and sign players that we need to. But we are in the title race. That's undeniable. That is undeniable. We are top of the league, 10 games in. We're going to be top of the league when everybody else plays. If they drop points, my question is, people tell me why, Tottenham, stay on the ground, don't say anything, like, just hope everybody doesn't notice you just passing by. Why was that logic not used for Arsenal last season? When Arsenal were going, Arsenal this, Arsenal that. Why weren't Arsenal wanting to be?
Look how that turned out.
Look how that turned out. Arsenal fans gave it the jib all season.
No.
But the jib all season. They were. Hang on, mate. They were what 9-10 points clear at the top. 3 games. All it took was 3 games for them to completely slip up and throw it away. 3 games.
Oh, you can
and
see
also,
hang on one second.
Part of the fact was that they were in a title race. So if that's how we're going to get,
Dan, it's worked.
That means that I'm right.
Dan, every Arsenal fan that claimed, like, when they were in our position right now at the start of the season, I remember really, really well on, again, the football terrace, every Arsenal fan was going, yeah, we're going to win the league this season, we're going to do this. Yes. They were ridiculed as well. Equally, they were ridiculed as well.
I'm not saying we're going to win the league.
12 games.
I'm not saying we're going to win the league.
No, I'm not saying you are, mate.
There isn't a title race. There isn't a title race.
Dan, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, Jamie, a question. I'm not trying to catch you out. Like, what is your definition of a title race? Like, what does that mean come the end of the season?
It means fighting for the title, like what Arsenal.
Okay, yeah. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. Would you say finishing? And there's going to be a few questions here. Would you say finishing 3 to 5 points behind the winners is being in a title race?
I mean, context definitely has to be used because Arsenal weren't, and they were obviously in a title race. So, but I would say if you're still around 6 to 7 points away from first with 8 games left in the season, you're in the title race.
Yeah, I understand that. So, I suppose my point is, do you think you're going to maintain this and be there?
I do think that until January, I definitely believe that we can maintain it. The question is, are we going to go to January and get squad depth? That is my question and my concern. That's where my worry is. But I think if we do, and if we sign a left winger, like I was saying, we need to, not another striker to replace Richarlison, a left winger. If we go out and sign a left back, another centre back, because let's be real, our centre-back partnership is unreal. We saw it tonight. Mickey van der Ven and Romero are unbelievable. But if you get another one to level them, if you go out and sign Tap Sober, then we're good.
Not going to happen.
But Dan, can I ask a question, mate? Can I ask a question for you, mate? I agree, by the way. I think Van der Ven and Romero as a partnership has been brilliant.
Beautiful.
Van der Ven will get stretched off because he's done his cruise shit. Romero gets suspended.
That's what I'm saying.
Or even if you pull the hamstring,
pulls a hamstring, and then our back two becomes Eric Dyer and Ben Davis. There we go. Click of a finger, boom, it all goes wrong. Hear me out. And this is the thing. This is the one thing I will say, because everyone's going on about 5 points clear at the top. I'm going to put a little bit of a downer. Call me negative in the chat if you want. I don't really mind. But when Spurs play Chelsea, what's happened in between that? What happens in between Spurs playing today and Spurs playing Chelsea?
What do you mean?
Everyone else plays twice. So
What?
by the time we play Chelsea, we potentially won't be 5 points at the top of the table.
Wait,
could
don't
be
we
a
play
1
Chelsea
point
next
behind.
Monday? Don't we play Chelsea next Monday?
No, we play Chelsea the following Monday.
Oh God,
Is it a
We
Monday
play
game?
Chelsea the following
Yeah.
Monday. So
Alone.
that's my point. We can all get titles aren't won in October. Titles are won in May.
I'm not
I
saying
don't
titles
understand
are
why
not
we can't just. Why Spurs fans have to be so ecstatic? Title race. No one's in a title race in October. There's only one team that can proudly say we're in a title race this season. Who's that?
Man City.
Manchester City.
Okay, but
The
what
only
have
team
they
that can go.
proven? What have they proven this season that we haven't proved? That's my question.
What have Man City done? Because Man City don't need to prove anything, mate. Because what Man City do what Man City do after the transfer window in February, March is they go, do you know what, guys? Let's just go and win it. Boom, 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 boom. They go and win 6 or 7 on the bounce. And then we all go, wow. They did it last season. They did it the season before that. It happens every year. I don't understand. It's like football fans have become this entity where it's, do you know what? Maybe this is the year Man City don't win it. And then every year they prove everyone wrong. And then they go and win. And then
You're not hearing what I'm saying.
Just one example, Dan. Do you ever watch horse racing, or have you ever watched the Grand National? Right, it's one of those long horse races where horses start and then they have to jump many hurdles and then they come to a final straight and then they make a run for the finishing line. Well, the Premier League is just like that. We are only in the first, I don't know, however many yards of a horse race, and there's going to be many hurdles, and in those hurdles, certain horses going to fall over and they're going to fall out of the race. So it's not until you get to that final stretch, and whatever horses are left in that final stretch, they're the ones who are in if you like, they're the ones with the real chance of winning that race. And it's the same. That's why until come February, March, you don't know who's going to fall back behind. You don't know. Obviously, injuries are going to play a part.
Do you know what? I think a lot of this. I want to say really quickly. I want to get some rival conversation on this one. I think a lot of this is also a little bit to do with semantics, or how you phrase what you're saying, because the title race doesn't start until the last 5 to 10 games.
Exactly.
However, if you believe you're going to be in it, then you're in it. And I suppose that's the difference. And it's what I'm kind of hearing from Dan is you're not in a title race yet because nobody is, but he believes they're going to be in it. And that's a fair belief to have, because I think we're going to be good enough to maintain it. It's very different from we're in it now, because no one knows who's going to be in it, because as you say, anything can happen. And some of it's completely, and I don't think you ever make predictions based on, I want to predict us winning something, but we might get 3 players out of a cruciate, because that's your brain shouldn't work that way. So listen, I respect what Dan's saying. He's backing it. He's buzzing I think they've got half a chance. They do well in January. They keep improving. I want to speak to Samuel. Samuel's a Liverpool fan. He's on with us. What are you here to say, mate?
Right. I'm not going to put all Tottenham fans under one brush. Yeah. There's a lot of realistic Tottenham fans that have said their piece. They're enjoying the football. Ange is... I'm not going to lie. Ange has surprised me. I didn't really know about him before, but he's brought in some football that is enjoyable to watch. I know today has been a struggle, but they got out with the win. But what I'm going to say is this, Dan, this is how I know you've never been in a title race before.
I have.
No,
Leicester.
And how did that go?
We didn't win it, but that's not. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that we're going to win the league. I'm saying that we're going to be in the title race. And
I that you said that you're not going to win the league. What I'm trying to say is that for you to say that you believe that you're going to be in the title race based on what premises, and now I know what you're going to say. You're going to say the first 10 games of the season. The first 10 games of the season, Aston Villa could have been top. We're not gonna base it on 10 games. Yes, you are playing good football, but there's how many games are in the season?
20. I mean, no. Sorry.
38.
38.
We'll help you out.
So
Dan.
we've got about 28 games left. Do you know how long that is of a season? This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And people that have been in the title race, especially against, I'm a Liverpool fan. I've seen it. Man City fans have seen it. what I've seen in title races is that teams that can go on long runs, even though Arsenal didn't do it, they were top for 93%, whatever the stat is. They've at least they've been top and they've gone on runs. Tottenham, right now, you have not seen that. Yes, you're playing good football. Yes, you're still unbeaten. But when it comes to crunch time, when it comes to squeaky bum time, when it comes to not bottling it, have you seen your team do it?
Yeah.
One caveat though. One caveat. And I agree with you. Sam. But one caveat is previously one thing that is in our favor. I have to say is obviously we have no European football this season. So that's one thing over a lot of the top teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, United. Because you guys are going to be playing 2 games in a week, and so hopefully, listen. I agree. I think somebody in the last reaction show said, I myself also am the same. I don't wish bad on any teams. I'd rather all the teams are at their strongest, they play each other, and whoever is the best team wins it. And that, I think that gives you more credibility when when you win it. So, but it makes it more realistic that, the Arsenals of this world, the Cities and Liverpools, there's the chance of picking up more injuries, or in the very least, we all know that when you have a midweek game, obviously, especially when it's Champions League or Europa League, you always end up, all teams, and this happened to Spurs many times in previous seasons when we had a midweek game, because our squad wasn't good enough, strong enough. We struggled in that following weekend, even, against really low teams that we should be beating. We were drawing or losing to them. So in that sense, that's one sort of small thing that gives me a little bit more hope.
I do hear that point, and I'm going to say one more point, and I'm going to let others.
Especially when it comes to the business end, after Christmas, we're talking about the Februaries and March when European football starts again, where we can just solely concentrate on the Premier League. Our rivals who are definitely going to be around us, they're going to still be hopefully playing European football and FA Cups and League Cups and all that kind of stuff, and we're not going to have to deal with that. So that's the one thing that gives me a little bit more hope.
I do hear that, and that is a factor. I'm not going to completely dismiss it. It is a factor that you don't have European football, so it's more likely that you have fresher legs going into the business end of the season. More likely. I don't really know the stats. However, this is what I would say. This season looks a lot different to previous seasons, and I tell you why. In previous seasons where teams have been good, there has been either 1 or 2 outstanding teams in the league, right? This season, there's already 3. Now, I'm actually going to include Tottenham in this. 4. I'm going to include Tottenham in this. So meaning... No, because I'm talking about teams that have done it before or have been in title races recently before. So that's what I'm talking about. And also started well. Obviously, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool have all started relatively well, and also Tottenham. So what I'm saying is that there is practically 3 to 4 teams going at it. There's not going to be one team, I believe, this season that is going to run away with it, meaning that there will be more points dropped in this. And this is where the pressure comes in, because you might be in a position where you're 2 points, 3 points ahead. And then every, especially, let's just say this. I know it's only December, but when you start having 3 games a week and stuff like that, and your squad depth is really being tested, that's when it's going to show.
December's going to be the real litmus test for it. We're going to play 7 games in December, right? We're currently averaging playing once every 10 days or whatever the stat is. December, we play once every 3 days. Let's see how this team can do it in that era, right? Because the problem is it's all well and good, all this, we're playing once a week and all this lot, but have we got the squad to handle a long season? As I say it all the time on anywhere I go.
Apart from the defense today, apart from obviously defensive cover, the bench actually didn't look too bad today. If you think about it, you had
it is. But you've got to remember,